My name's Lynne Waterson, and this is my mum, Lorna Stafford, at 17 years. And during the Second World War, she was an Air Force or flight observer in Tathra. The original observation post started off on the veranda of the harbour master's house, but vision was poor, and that was why I think Mum insisted that they shift across to where our current war memorial is now. My grandfather had a brickworks, and so she cycled off home one day at the end of her shift and demanded that he help please build a proper observation tower so that they could have some height, because the original were either wet, uncomfortable or poor vision to the horizon. So Pop, of course, supplied the bricks and the timber, and Thatcher's, a firm of local builders, built the little observation tower, thanks to my mum being a bit pushy. On the 22nd of July 1942, she was cycling to work to her observation post in Tathra, and she could hear the explosions as she was cycling. Once she got to Tathra and climbed her observation post, she could see through her binoculars a ship in great distress, and she had to then quickly telephone the base in Moruya, and from there then planes were sent to the ship in distress. She was able to sketch every 20 minutes or every 15 minutes, divided this page up, and what was happening as this ship, as it turned out, was the Dawes, an American merchant ship, and it had been torpedoed by a Japanese submarine. She could see, she had to signal then, of course, straight away to the air base in Moruya and let them know that there was an attack, and they sent planes down. And from her drawing here, it looks like there's about 4 planes in the end. The captain has organised that they evacuate, and there were 4 life rafts, but 5 men died. They were left behind in the engine room. They couldn't be rescued. Tathra had an old boat called the Stella Maris, and 2 men went out to try to help, and the local townsfolk had gathered, hoping with food and blankets to be able to look after survivors. But a faster fishing trawler from Merimbula had arrived and tied the crew in their boats to their trawler and took them into Merimbula. So unfortunately, Tathra missed out. They were a bit disappointed that they weren't there to be able to help. So when I was a child, of course, we grew up with this story, and whenever Mum told us, because, it was hard to relate to those years and Mum being young, but she would always tell me the story how she had to wind up, crank the phone to make contact with base in Moruya, and to give the immediate information whenever an unusual plane flew past. It was always quickly wind up. We have to make contact with Moruya and let them know what's going on. This drawing has survived all these years, coming up for 80 years, and I guess I grew up with this Mum's drawing in the bureau and didn't really relate or identify with it too much. But as I've got older and I work in the Tathra Museum, now the Tathra Wharf Museum, I have got to appreciate so much of all of our history, and especially this.
We sing as we limp through the air. Look below, there's our field over there. With our full crew aboard and our trust in the Lord, we're coming in on a wing and a prayer.